Hey guys, so this was my day 2 of my program this week. My first video is kind of filmed up close and I'm sorry for that, but I'm just setting up, trying to get that arch, and I did notice that my arch was good up until I tried to re-rack the bar. So I just need to remember to set up closer to the bar so I'm not reaching for it as much. So here I was just doing another warm-up set, so I just had 55 on the bar and I just did a couple of reps with that weight. So I believe that this was my first working set at 65 pounds and I was just doing this for 5 reps. My focus for bench press is really focusing on the pause at the bottom because that's what the commands are at the knee, and keeping my elbows tucked in and taking that big breath at the top before every rep. So here I just had my second working set and this was 75 pounds for 5 reps. So here was my third and final working set, and this was an AMRAP set, so I was doing as many reps as possible. So I had 85 on the bar, and according to my estimated 1 rep max, which is 107, I should have been able to do 10 reps here, but I only got till 8. But I wasn't too upset about that because I was taking really big pauses on the bottom, and when I did calculate my 1 rep max, it wasn't with those pauses. So I was still very happy with those numbers. So next I moved on to accessory work. So I was just warming up my hips here to get ready for some hip thrusts, and I was just warming it with the bar, so that was 45 pounds. So here I just had 95. I haven't done the hip thrust in a while, so I was just starting off light and seeing how heavy I could go for, and this was really light because I was only supposed to go 5 for 5. So then I moved on to 115, and this was also very light, but it was hurting my hip a lot, so here I moved on to 135, and I believe I just stayed here for 3 sets. I was supposed to go 5 for 5, and usually I wouldn't count those warm-up sets, but my legs were still really sore, so I decided to count them. So here was my second set at 135, and I decided to use the yoga mat, which felt a lot better, but it still really hurt, and I felt like I could have went a lot heavier if it wasn't for that. I guess I forgot to film my third set of my hip thrusts, but here I was just warming up for overhead presses with the bar, which is 45 pounds. So here I just had 55 on the bar, and I was just testing out how much I can put on the bar because I'm not used to doing low reps and higher weights with overhead presses. Next I moved on to 65 pounds, and I stayed here for 3 reps and 3 sets. So next I was assigned 4 sets of 6 for wide grit cable rows, and this was 45 pounds and it felt light, so I just did this as a warm-up set for 10 reps. And then for my following reps, I bumped it up to 65 pounds and did that for 6 reps. So here was my day 3 of training, and I was really happy to see that I had made improvements from my last deadlift session. From my last deadlift session, if you haven't watched my other video, when I was setting up, my shoulders were above the bar, and I noticed that when I was setting up in this video, my shoulders were in a perfect line with the bar. So here was just my warm-up set at 95 pounds, and I was just really focusing on technique. So here was my first working set at 120 pounds, and I just did that for 5 reps. Here was my second working set at 135 pounds, and I was just resetting between each rep and taking a big breath. So here was my last set at 155, and this was an AMRAP set. So if you guys don't know what that means, it means that I'm doing as many reps as I can with that weight. So I managed 11 reps, and looking back at this video and from the comments my coach gave me, I could have probably gone for more because each rep here looked the same. There was no grindy reps or anything like that. I was, however, a bit distracted by some of my coworkers. You'll see me laughing at the end here. I'm not using that as an excuse, but yeah. So for some accessory work, I decided to play around with some sumo deadlifts, and I'm not very familiar with these. I haven't done a lot of these, but overall they feel really good, and I was just warming up with 95 here, just starting off light and working my way up. So this next set I decided to film from the front, and here I just had 135 pounds, and this felt really smooth as well. These were supposed to be for 10 reps at an RPE of 8, and they felt easy and more like a 6, so I increased to 135 after this. So this was my first set at 135, and this felt really smooth and fast. After my 3 sets of 135 for sumos, I started by warming up for rows with the 45-pound bar. So here was my first working set, and I just did 3 sets of 10 reps with 55 pounds. So for tricep, for accessory work, I had close grip bench press, so here I'm just warming up the bar. So here I tried with 55 pounds, and that felt easy, so I then moved on to 65 pounds. And I was doing this for 4 sets of 7, but I didn't get to film that. So here was my 4th day, which was originally supposed to be another squat day, but I forgot my squat shoes, so we ended up just doing deadlifts and bench. And so I filmed some of the clips where I was working on my sumo deadlifts, and this was just 135, and I was just doing singles really slow, just really making sure I'm engaging my lats, making sure my shoulders are aligned with the bar, and I'm really using my feet to drive from the floor. Overall, these felt really good, and I think I'm going to be switching to sumo for the competition. The only thing is that my biggest problem is coming off the floor, and that's already harder in a sumo stance, but that's just something that I'm going to have to work on. So here I was just doing the same thing with 155, just really focusing on my technique. So what you just saw me do was one single at 155, and now they're putting on 175. The 175 was also easy, so after that we decided to go for 195. You guys are going to see that I filled the 195. I think one of the reasons for this was that I wasn't taking the slack out of the bar. Who knows, I may have gotten it if it wasn't for that, but I'm not too worried about it because I've hit 185 for several times before, and anyways, I'd rather save my maxes for the competition. This is it for today's video. It would have been up a week and a half ago if it did mess up and I had to redo the whole thing. I'm really sorry about that, but there will be a lot more videos about my updates on how my training is going, so I hope you guys stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye guys!